So one example we have, from example we'll come to know. So see, one HTML form is created. Look at this. What is there? Some name is already there. This is a placeholder value. We can mention our name here, right? Password here we are mentioning. So see, we are writing the password like this, but that password is not visible, right? It is shown by the black dot. Email, so one structure is already there. We can write one email. Then color. So see, if I click on this, so from this I can choose any color, right? Date of birth. So here you can choose any date. Okay, so any date you can mention there. Time. So here you can mention any time. Then range. Okay, so it has a satisfaction level 1 to 10. Okay, so we can choose any range there. Then we have the radio buttons. Here we can choose male or female. Then we have check boxes, right? Here we have the check boxes. Then we have this drop down. So from this drop down, we can choose something. And then we have text area. We can write some text. We have one button, but it is disabled. Then we have submit button and we have the reset button, right? So likewise, one form is created by using HTML, right? So we will see what HTML tags are there, how that form is created. Now see. So in HTML, to create a form, we have to use form tag. Just like for table, we have to use table tag, right? So in the same way, to create the form, we have a form tag, opening form tag, closing form tag. Inside that, we have to mention everything. Okay, how to create text field, password field, button. Okay, so everything that we have to mention inside this form tag. Okay. Now see, in our example, here you can see we have simple text field, then we have password field, then we have email field, right? Then here we have created one field for choosing the color, then a date, time, a range, right? So how it is possible? So all these are created by using input tag. See, again I'm repeating, all these are created by using the input tag. Look at this. We can use input tag. For input tag, we have an attribute type. Type is equal to text, so it can take normal text. Type is equal to password, so it will take password, and that it will not be visible. Okay? Whenever we are entering password, so it should not be visible, right? If someone is sitting to our neighborhood, so he should not see what password that we are entering, right? So type is equal to password. Type is equal to submit means submit button. Type is equal to button means general button will be created. Type is equal to radio means radio buttons will be created. Type is equal to reset means reset button will be created. Type is equal to checkbox means that checkbox will be checkboxes will be created, right? So it will create one checkbox. If you want two checkboxes, so two times we have to repeat. Three times checkboxes we want, three times we have to repeat, right? So all these are older versions. These are given by the HTML4. Before HTML5, whatever the versions that we had, in that these input types are provided. In HTML5, that current HTML version, we have the multiple input types. We have type is equal to color. We have type is equal to date. So see here in our output, here we have chosen color, right? See, if I click on this, we are getting this color picker. So how it is created? It is created by using this. We are using type is equal to color. Then here we have chosen date, right? If I click on this, so here we are getting date picker. From this we are choosing the date. So from where we are getting? We are getting it from this date. So likewise, HTML5 has provided multiple types: color, date, date time, email. Okay, so see there we have email field. So email, month, number, range. Here you can see in our output. Here we are choosing the range, right? This range we are creating, right? Here we are mentioning the range. So that range also can be created by using type is equal to range. Search, telephone number, okay, tell, time, URL, and week. So HTML5 has provided multiple input types. These were available in older HTML version, and new HTML5 version, we have this. So by using this, we can create HTML form and we can add some fields. Some examples here. So one by one we'll go. First name, that is the label. Okay, and this is the text field that is created by using the input tag. See, by using this input tag, this text field is created. Last name is label, and this. This is the text field, right? This is the text field. What is the use of this BR tag? We want this text field should be on next line. That's why BR tag. Now see in HTML, most of the tags they have the closing tag. See, this is the opening tag, this is a closing tag. But in HTML, there are some tags without the closing tag. For example, say break. Break doesn't require a closing tag. Input doesn't require a closing tag, right? So break doesn't have a closing tag. Input also doesn't have closing tag. Similarly, we have HR tag, horizontal row tag, that doesn't require the closing tag. So we have some tags in HTML. Okay. Input fields, right? Then we have password field, right? So see, type is equal to text means general text field, but type is equal to password, so password field, right? Okay. We want submit button. So see, type is equal to submit, right? Type is equal to submit. Now see, when we click on the submit button, that data should go somewhere. See, for example, when we sign up on a Gmail, right? Or when we sign up for the Facebook, we click on the submit button and that data is passed to the backend, right? Where that data should get passed, it is decided by the action field. Action is an attribute and this is the value, right? Action and this is the value. After clicking on submit, where that value should go, okay? Who will handle that values? Where that values will be saved or what should be happen in the background on the backend side. So that link that URL here we have to mention, right? Okay. Now see here. Okay, so here we have submit button and reset button. Okay, if we have entered something and we want to reset, we have the reset button. Okay. Suppose type is equal to button, but after clicking on that button, something should happen. Okay, we should get a pop-up. So for the pop-up, we have to mention some JavaScript code. Okay, so here we have mentioned on click, that is attribute. After clicking on that button, some JavaScript code should get run. Later on, we will have JavaScript classes. So there you will learn how to create functions. Okay, it is simple JavaScript code. It is written. We are showing alert box. Okay, then radio button. So see, one significance or speciality of radio button. If we have the multiple radio button, we can select only one, right? So see, we have three radio buttons. So we have three input fields, right? Type is equal to radio, type is equal to radio, type is equal to radio. Name is equal to gender. All three we have given the same name because only one radio button will be selected, right? So that's why here we have three check boxes. So likewise, we have the check boxes. Radio button we can select only one, but check boxes we can select multiple, right? So here type is equal to checkbox and these are the name value. So name, why it should be different? Because multiple checkboxes we can select, but in radio buttons that should be same because see only one can be selected. Okay. Now see value. Okay. So here you can see in the example here we have the value attribute, right? What value? This is actually the label, whatever the label that we want to give, but this is the actual value that we will handle on the backend side. Value is equal to something, right? That we are mentioning. These are the attributes of input tag. Read only is the attribute and we don't have to give any value. Suppose we want to mention it should be read only. Okay, it should be read only. We don't have to enter any value. It should be read only. So that we can mention the attribute. Just we have to mention read only. We don't have to enter any value. There is no need to give read only is equal to something. Okay, only mention read only. And disabled. Disabled is one more attribute that we can mention for the input tag. So if it is disabled, so see, we will get output like this. This button is disabled, right? This button is disabled. So how it is created? By using this attribute. If you mention disable attribute, so we will get output like this. And later on we can enable it. Okay, so we can write some JavaScript function and by that we can make it enable. Size, suppose for some text field we have to mention default size 20 character. Default size is 20 character, but suppose we want to give different size, so that also we can give. We can select maximum length. Okay, so how many character, maximum number of characters you should accept. So that also we can mention by using the max length attribute. Drop down. Okay, so up till now just we have seen input tag only. Okay, so all these are created by using the input tag only. But suppose we want to create drop down like this. Or in our example, we have this drop down, right? So this drop down can be created by using the select tag. We have select tag. Select tag and individual value. It is created by using the option tag. So option is a child tag of select tag. Okay, select tag, by using select tag we can create a drop down, and we can use option tag to create this internal values. Okay, we can mention the size is equal to 4, and we can also select multiple, but we have to mention this attribute. Text area, see, in our example, at the end we have the text area, right? So the text area can be created, but for that we have a different tag with the name text area. So likewise, form can be created.